We had talked in the past about one of the men who were photographed on the House floor, actually, a retired Air Force officer who was part of the mob that stormed the US Capitol. You could be seen carrying zip ties. This isn't the person jumping over the barrier with the zip ties. This is a different guy with zip ties. He apparently wanted to take hostages. That's what a prosecutor said in court in Texas on Thursday. As Assistant US Attorney Jay Weimer said of retired Lieutenant Colonel Larry Rendell Brock Jr., Lieutenant Colonel that was there. He means to take hostages. He means to kidnap, restrain, perhaps try, perhaps execute members of the US government. And as part of the evidence provided by that prosecutor there, he read in court social media posts from Brock, including one posted on the day of the riots saying, quote, "Patriots on the Capitol, patriots storming, men with guns need to shoot their way in." And this is, like, there are many varieties, many flavors of crazy that were there. This isn't just the, like former military flavor. This is former lieutenant colonel flavor who wanted to overthrow the US government and went there to do that. He is, I believe, the one who was turned in by his ex-wife who saw him on TV, which is hilarious. I'd love to see that. But again, in his defense, he says he just found the zip ties on the floor and he picked them up to give them to a police officer. Quote, "I wish I had not picked those up." Well, I'm sure that part is true. He wishes that he hadn't been pictured with them at the very least. Men with guns need to shoot their way in so that I can get in and pick up litter and give it to the cops I see. I'm assuming that was the part of the quote that we didn't see, Brett.
And there's this. There's so much here.
Really fast. Again, what we're seeing here is part one, you storm the Capitol. That's step one, F around. Step two is, I wish I hadn't picked up those zip ties. That's the find out part. And they all of a sudden, they're far less watering the tree of liberty-ish once they're facing charges. But he was ready. If that guy had Mike Pence, what would have happened to Mike Pence that day if this individual had him?
Well,
he wants you to believe nothing.
Right, but if I'm gonna believe what I heard, hundreds of people chanting they wanted to kill him. They wanted to hang him in the gallows they had absolutely erected outside the Capitol building. But what the thing I was speechless over is just the extent of the self-delusion and lack of self-awareness. Guys, when they get caught, they didn't think they were doing anything wrong. They don't think they're the terrorists. And that implies two things. One, how far detached from reality they are. How much of a social media or straight up militia / gang bubble that they've put themselves in where they think they're righteous. And then two, the utter lack of empathy for other people who advocate for changes in the government. As I already